This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Wednesday, August 26, 2020. The title of this rant is, Will Trump Rely on Right-Wing Militias to Help Steal the Presidency? So let's go back just a little bit after the George Floyd murder, slaughter. There were a number of demonstrations all across the country, quite a few, and in a number of those, right-wing militias tried to infiltrate, that's not really the correct word, but just mingle with the Black Lives Matter movement and do destruction on property, etc. We also, there was lots of film out of Philadelphia where white gangs were walking around with baseball bats and clubs and things like that, insisting on law and order. The police weren't doing anything about that. Shortly thereafter that, the right-wing militias with arms surrounded the state house in Michigan. Did they get in? I can't remember if they got in. That was a couple months ago. That was in Michigan. Just this weekend in Portland, where they're still having demonstrations, and the Poor Boys, which is another right-wing militia group, clashed with the protesters, the Black Lives Matter protesters. Nominal police interference when the police knew that this could get out of hand, and there were a number, at least one or two, Poor Boys who were aiming guns at them. And yesterday, that scumbag, Eamon, whatever his, forgot his last name, from the Malheur wildlife refugee thing, had armed people with him in the state house in Idaho. He was eventually arrested. He looked pretty silly because they wheeled him out in a chair, and of course he had, I guess, handcuffed himself to the chair to prove his point. And then, of course, last night, 2 people were killed in Kenosha as it was only a 17-year-old white boy that basically shot 2 people to death. And my question is, God, the kid was from out of state, so how did he even get there? Where were his parents involved in all of this? Who gave him how did he get a hold of a gun? And what gave him the thought process that he could go out there and shoot these people? But here's the thing. These people have been responding to Trump. They mean business. They know what they need to do. They have practiced this. They have gone out. The police, in some instances, have shown little resistance into their actions. And things could get a great deal worse as time goes on before the election and when the election happens and Trump does not concede. Because let's be very serious. They have lots of guns. They have shown a willingness to promote the fact that they are in an armed, that they're protecting Trump or whatever reason. And at what point will it take that once that first shot is fired, that they will not go all out and continue something like that? I myself do not want to have any type of violence, whether regardless of where it's coming from. But Trump does not need to tell them what to do. Number one, he's already told them. They know what to do. They have their marching orders. They're waiting upon him to basically to give the signal, and they'll be ready. And here's the thing: will it actually be that right-wing, white armed militias will resort to violence with guns if Trump is defeated? I certainly hope that's not the case.